Thank you for joining us this evening as we prepare to select the individuals that will portray the roles of General Don Diego de Vargas and La Reina de la Fiesta for 2019. It is my pleasure to introduce the Masters of Ceremony for tonight, Marcos Tapia and Jennifer Manzanares. Marcos Tapia is the son of William and Madeline Tapia, born and raised in Santa Fe and on the family ranch in Tapia, New Mexico. Marcos can trace his Spanish and Native American roots multiple generations in northern New Mexico. Graduate of Santa Fe High, and he was a member of the 1979 and 80 state football championship team. Enlisted in the Army and later received an ROTC scholarship to New Mexico State University, becoming a distinguished military graduate, second lieutenant, with a degree in accounting in 1986. After a tour on active duty, he returned to Santa Fe and served as an officer in the Army Reserves. During this time, he was signed up by his mother and father to enter the Don Diego de Vargas competition in 1990. And with his parents' help and encouragement, Marcos was selected as the 1990 Don Diego de Vargas. He was mobilized to active duty and served 2 tours, 31 months overseas in Kuwait, Iraq, and Afghanistan, where he distinguished himself and received many military awards, airborne and air assault medals, combat action badge. In addition, was awarded the Bronze Star for his actions. He retired from the United States Army as a lieutenant colonel after 29 years of active duty and Army Reserves. Marcos loved the Army, and because of his faith, was kept out of harm's way. But after his last tour, he was just tired of missing his children in Santa Fe. During his military career, Marcos became a certified accountant and continued to serve his state and Santa Fe, working as a chief financial officer, accumulating in his service and retirement from the city of Santa Fe as the city finance director. Marcos has a son, Mateo, 13, daughter, Marisol, 19, who is at UNM, and 2 stepdaughters, Gabriela, 29, and Clarissa, 24. Marcos is engaged to Miss Jennifer Labar, and with the Lord's blessing, will be wed on May 30th in Seal Beach, California. He is honored to MC the 2019 Don Diego de Vargas and La Reina de Santa Fe contest selection. Next is Jennifer Manzanares. Jennifer Jen is a native northern New Mexican. Born and raised in the Poake Valley, she graduated from Poake High School and furthered her education at Northern New Mexico Community College, where she received her AS in criminal justice. She continued her educational journey at the College of Santa Fe, where she received her bachelor's degree in political science and secondary education with an emphasis on criminal justice. Jen was recently invited to serve as the Chief Deputy Treasurer for the Santa Fe County, alongside Treasurer Pat Varela. Though she has had many roles in her career, she has enjoyed the opportunity to serve as a senior field representative for Congressman Ben Ray Lujan. Her love of her native community allowed her to serve the constituents of the Congressional District 3. Jen served her community as an opioid policy coordinator, as a contractor for the Santa Prevention Alliance. Her passion for her families and friends struggling with substance use disorder led her to fulfill her desire to serve as an overdose prevention educator and trauma-informed care trainer. She currently holds her certification as a State of New Mexico Certified Peer Support Worker. This endeavor has led her to the newly formed New Mexico Voices of Recovery, whose personal stories will start the healing of stigma in our communities. She is fortunate to collaborate with many amazing stakeholders in the community to address a healthier communities. Her passion for healthier communities and families comes from her own personal experience with family addiction and recovery. Jen serves as the MANA National Board of Directors Vice Chair assuming her position in January 2015. She has also served on several boards to include Mana del Norte, Envision Your Future, Juvenile Community Corrections, Law Enforcement Assistant Division Lead, and numerous organizations and nonprofits. She has been active in her community for many years and looks forward to continuing it in the future. Jen is a mother of 3 children, JP, Andrew, and Julianne. The joy and the light of her life are her beautiful grandchildren, Abby and Alexander. Jen enjoys making beautiful memories with her family, celebrating her deep culture, teaching her grandchildren traditions, and enjoying her love and travel and adventure. Let's welcome the 1990 Don Diego de Vargas Marcos Tapia and la Reina de las Fiestas, Jennifer Manzanares.
Trying to roll it along because that was kind of long, and I told Jen mine was short, but I used a smaller font. So I want to welcome everybody to the 307th Santa Fe Fiesta selection. It is an honor to be one of the masters of ceremony for tonight's event, and I am pleased to also work alongside my Reina, Jennifer Manzanares, as co-MCs tonight. Also with us is the Honorable Judge Donita Sena. Judge Sena will be our official auditor for the contest and will be responsible for tallying all the ballots and securing the results until the May 4th Baile de Mayo, where she will release these results to the Fiesta Council President, Melissa Mascareñas.
Santa Fe is the oldest city in the United States, and the Fiesta de Santa Fe is the oldest continuing community celebration in the United States. Let's give a round of applause to celebrate our proud culture and great traditions.
Before we begin tonight's events, I have to introduce the 2018 officers and the Board of Directors for the Santa Fe Fiesta Council. It's a privilege. Thank you for doing this. As I call your name, please stand and be recognized. President, Melissa Mascareñas. Vice President, Aaron Garcia. Executive Secretary, Linda Newwood. Treasurer, Virgil Vigil. Parliamentarian, Stacy Starr Garcia. Still wondering if I was going to say that right. All right, Sergeant at Arms, Diana Nava. Board Member, Tony Lopez. Board Member, Crystal Lucero. Board Member, Carol Montoya. And Board Member, Alma Ortiz. Don't forget you, Alma. And Past President, Gilbert Romero. Thank you for your time, Gilbert.
Let's also give a round of applause for the Santa Fe Fiesta Council's contest selection, ticket and door public relations committees for putting tonight's program together. We have voting members of the Santa Fe Fiesta Council here. Please stand and be recognized for your countless volunteer hours that you give to ensure the Fiesta de Santa Fe is a reality each year. Please give them a round of applause. Committee people, please stand. With us here tonight are dignitaries, and we thank them for joining and participating. We've got the mayor from Las Vegas, Tonita Gurule Giron. The Española Fiesta Council. Don Juan de Oñate Jeff Diaz. Que viva! Reina, Destiny Trujillo. One of my very own and favorite, Ralph Martinez with Matanza Española. And very near to my heart, my boss, Treasurer Pat Varela. The announcement of the 2019 Don Diego de Vargas and La Reina de la Fiesta will be on Saturday, May 4th at the Baile de Mayo. The baile will take place right here at the Convention Center. The doors will open at 6 with mariachis entertaining us from 6 to 7, followed by the Wild Country Band. We hope to see you all there. We extend our good wishes to each of the contestants tonight and thank them and their families. They've been here diligently for their interest in participating and portraying these important roles.
I think we're ready. We begin this evening, by recognizing your Santa Fe Fiesta royalty from 2018. You guys, there you go. I was waiting for that. Don Diego de Vargas, Bobby Facundo Trujillo Aidar, Capitán Primero Santos Molano Villabuena, Capitán Segundo Tomás Garcia Yariano, Soldado Philip Romero Enrique, Alcalde Oro, Garcia Secretario del Cabildo y del Guerrero Mundt Valencia, Thank you all for participating in the Fiesta de Santa Fe and helping to continue to unite our cultures. It is now my privilege to now introduce the contestant who is running for the role of 2019 Don Diego de Vargas. Contestant Leonard Mike Romero III. Leonard is 39 years old, born Fe. Leonard is a 1997 graduate of Capital High School. He is a proud father of 3 children. Romero is supervisor for the City of Santa Fe Arts Division. He has background work with numerous television and print production casting agents. Leonard is a member of the Caballeros de Bajas and Unión Protectiva de Santa Fe. Leonard is escorted by his parents, Leonard and Sharon Romero. He is sponsored by the Villa family of Building 2951. Ladies and gentlemen, Leonard Mike Romero III.
For La Reina, contestant number 1, Adriana Montoya Peña. Adriana is 20 years old, born and raised in Santa Fe. Adriana is a graduate from St. Marcos High School in 2013. She also graduated from the University of New Mexico in 2018 with a double bachelor in psychology and interpersonal communications. Adriana is a 5th grade teacher at La Vista. She also coaches the 4th and 5th grade team at her school. Adriana has also completed her school year coaching for the Lady Jaguars at Capital High School. Adriana is being escorted by her parents Paul and Reina Montoya and is sponsored by the Fraternity Order for Eagles 2811. Ladies and gentlemen, Adriana Montoya Peña.
All right. Contestant number 2, Angel Garcia y Rivera. Angel is the daughter of Gloria Rivera, was born in Taos, New Mexico, but raised here in Santa Fe. Angel has 2 beautiful children, Faith and Isaiah. Angel works for a private law firm, which deals with many cases throughout New Mexico. For Angel, it's a very exciting journey to be on since a child. She's always looked up to the Reina as a role model for the community. Angel's hoping to be that role model for her children and the children of the community in Santa Fe. Angel is escorted by Gloria Rivera and her brother and Joey Payne, and is sponsored by Los Caballeros de Vargas. Ladies and gentlemen, Angel Garcia y Rivera.
Contestant number 3, Brianna Janae Ellis Yaye. Brianna is 36 years old and the daughter of Joel Anthony Chacon and Patricia Mary Agnes Chacon and David Ryan Ellis. Brianna grew up in Untitled, New Mexico till age 5 and then moved to Powahka, where she graduated from Powahka Valley High in 2011. After high school, Brianna continued her education at Northern New Mexico, working on her bachelor's degree in IT engineering. Brianna is currently employed by the Santuario de Chimayo as manager of all gift shops. Brianna wanted to run for La Reina to keep the love for the traditions and heritage of her culture. Brianna is escorted by Joel Anthony Chacon and Patricia Mary Chacon, her parents, and is sponsored by the Mundt Club. Ladies and gentlemen, Brianna Janae and Alex
Contestant number 4, Elise Elena Lopez Villegas. Elise is 35 years old and is the daughter of Alan and Agnes Vega. Elise is a loving sister of fine siblings. She was born and raised in Santa Fe. Elise attended St. Francis Catholic High School and graduated from St. Michael's High School in 2012. Elise attended UNM, where she studied abroad in Spain. She graduated with a bachelor's degree in English studies. Elise is currently working for the Cowgirl Restaurant in order to save money, and she will be applying for the Peace Corps or Catholic Missionary Program. Elise is escorted by Agnes and Maria Lenny. Her mom and sister are sponsored by the State Employees Credit Union.
Tonight's contest will determine who will be the 2019 De Vargas and La Reina. Each candidate will be judged on 4 long-standing criteria: a 3 to 5 minute Spanish speech, a 3 to 5 minute English speech, and an impromptu question on both Spanish and English. The members of the Santa Fe Fiesta Council will judge which candidate has the best understanding of the history and meaning of Fiesta, as well as content and delivery. We are so excited for the contestants and know firsthand how you're feeling. Marcos and I stood on this stage 29 years ago competing for the roles of Don Diego de Vargas and La Reina. Marcos, tell us about when you competed for de Vargas and what was it like to serve as Don Diego de Vargas?
Well, I remember it was a beautiful night, and I was in the James Little Theater. What a great place to do the contest. And, you know, you would think that I would be nervous, but I wasn't, because my parents really helped me with my speech and always practiced and made me, you know, I get out of the shower, Mom would be there and say, well, say this line, do this, and my dad would help with the speech. Mom would help with the pronunciation. So, you know, and with them, I kind of honor them a little bit tonight because I'm wearing my father's bracelet. My Uncle Pete Tapia, his. You like this shirt? I like it, and it fits good. I didn't think it was going to fit me. And then I have my, you know, a nice concha here. But I'll be honest with you. Being the Vargas, what it is that it's relationships, it's friendships, and at the end you become family. And that's the way it is. It really is. And I'll tell you now, I have, well, Jen, what are the Cuadrilla and me always refer to you?
They're my brothers.
Sister. Okay, sister. All right. Well, it looks like everybody's ready. Let's get this competition started. What do you think? Yeah. All right. And prior to tonight's competition, the candidates drew numbers to determine the order in which they were going to be addressing the council and members of the audience.
We will now begin with the English speech segment of our contest selection.
We will begin with Don Diego de Vargas contestant, Leonard Mike Romero III.
Good evening, Madam President, Melissa Mascarenas, board and officers and members of the Santa Fe Fiesta Council, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Leonard Mike Romero. I am a proud father of 3 children, Leonard, Alina, and Demi. I work for the City of Santa Fe Parking Division, which I've been employed there for 20 years now. There's many stories that have been told on this stage, and all the stories have been told for one reason, and that is in the honor of our Blessed Mother, Lady of Peace. My story begins in 2014 when I was first introduced to our Blessed Mother. My brother and my sister-in-law were a part of the royalty that year, so that was my first time I got to see what Fiestas was really about. I never really knew the history of Fiestas. I just always known coming downtown, hanging out on the plaza and seeing the parades. So as in support of them, I started going to the masses and all the events and just kind of seeing the back end of it and seeing what it was truly about and the true story of why this tradition has been going for 307 years today. During that same time, I was introduced to the Caballeros de Vargas. I joined that organization, in which I'm still a member today and serve as Sergeant at Arms. It has been just a tremendous opening of my eyes to see what our Blessed Mother has and the powers she holds and the miracles she holds. In 2015, I was asked to serve on my first cuadrilla. And after that, the following 3 years, I was asked again by the men that portrayed the role for Don Diego de Vargas to serve on their cuadrillas. And it was an experience of a lifetime, and just something I couldn't explain. And seeing the powers our Blessed Mother holds and all the love the people have in this city for her, and attending my first novena mass, I just couldn't explain how I felt. It was such a heartwarming feeling that I had. And when I heard the Magnificat for the first time, it got me. I couldn't explain the feeling. And I knew I had to continue that tradition and be a part of it and keep going with fiestas and honoring our Blessed Mother. I want to thank my parents, Leonard and Sharon Romero, my brother and my sister, John and Miranda Romero, my children, Leonard, Alina, and Demi Romero. I want to thank my sponsors, VFW Post 2951, Commander Gilbert Romero, thank you. I appreciate your support and all you've done. I couldn't thank you enough. The members of the Caballeros de Vargas, President Tomas Baca, thank you. You guys have been tremendous support and been there for everything I've ever needed. You guys have been by my side and I couldn't thank you enough. I also want to thank all my friends and coworkers that have supported me and been by my side and kind of helped guide me through this and push me to go that final step that I've always wanted to do. I want to continue to keep this tradition going for another 307 years. Not only teach my children, but also teach the youth and the kids of this city what this city holds and the special place we honor in our hearts, our Blessed Mother, La Conquistadora, Nuestra Señora del Rosario, Nuestra Señora de la Paz. Thank you. Y que viva la fiesta. ¡Que viva!
Great job, Leonard. It takes a lot to come up here in front of everybody and put yourself out there, and I appreciate that. Great job, Leonard. Proud of you.
Now let's move on to La Reina de la Fiesta contestants. La Reina contestant number 1, Adriana Montoya Peña.
Good evening, Madam President Mascareñas, Vice President Garcia, board members, and Santa Fe Fiesta Council. First of all, I would like to take the time to thank each and every single one of you for honoring me with this opportunity to stand before you today. My name is Adriana Montoya y Peña, and I am 23 years old. I am a native of Santa Fe, and I graduated in 2013 from St. Michael's High School. In 2018, I graduated from the University of New Mexico, where I obtained a double bachelor's degree in psychology and interpersonal communications. I have used both of my degrees to pursue a career in teaching. I currently teach 27 beautiful 5th graders at Ramirez Thomas Elementary School. As an educator, in the little bit of free time I do have, I coach girls basketball. This past year, I coached the 4th and 5th grade girls at Ramirez Thomas, and then continued my journey with the Lady Jags, where I will preside as a C-team head coach for the 3rd year in a row. All that I have accomplished was not possible without the love and support of my parents, Paul and Myrna Montoya. If elected queen, I would love my legacy to be that of a great educator and a queen of faith. Like Don Diego de Vargas, I too pray for guidance in my teachings and in my everyday life. Although I have not faced and will not face the challenges that he faced 307 years ago, I believe, like he believed, that prayer is so powerful. God and Our Lady of Peace do not give us what we want just because we ask, but help guide and strengthen us to accomplish all things possible. We are a city that prides itself on the most sacred tradition of the Fiesta de Santa Fe. And as an educator, I was able to experience that loss of history firsthand within my classroom. When I went to tell my students this joyous news that I was running for La Reina de la Fiesta de Santa Fe, their reaction and response was not what I was expecting. In that moment, they asked me, "What is that?" And I was so disheartened. But I realized in that moment that this was my calling from Our Lady of Peace, to remind our youth and to teach our youth the importance and the history of this beautiful city, and to teach them to always keep a promise. What is a promise made is a promise kept. Like it states on the side of our Halpin building in our own historic downtown, a city that forgets its past has no future. And it is my duty as an educator to make sure that this city gets to continue 307 more years of tradition. In closing, I would like to sincerely thank the Santa Fe Fiesta Council for this opportunity to stand here. I would also like to thank my sponsors, the Fraternal Order of the Eagles, Area 2811, for their support. I would like to sincerely thank my parents, again, Paul and Reina Montoya, and my siblings for coming and supporting me, not just now, but in my everyday life, as well as my family, who came all the way from up north to support me in this as well. Lastly, I would like to thank God and Our Lady of Peace, all of whom without none of this would be possible. Thank you.
La Reina contestant number 2, Angel Garcia y Rivera.
Good evening, everyone. Okay, it's working. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Melissa Mascarenas, Presidente. Good evening to the Fiesta Council. And thank you for having me here today. I'm a little nervous today. This is a new journey for me. Ever since I was younger, I would, go on the Fiesta Council and I'm sorry. Let me try this one more time, okay? My name is Angel Garcia y Rivera, and I'm 33 years old. I have 2 beautiful children, Faith and Isaiah. I run a nonprofit organization for youth and families. I'm an educator in life skills and giving our youth an opportunity to see that there's a better life out there. I guide them, I pray for them, and I also give them resources. My youth center is named after my beautiful daughter, Faith, Community Outreach Center. I'm a lawyer, which I do abuse and neglected cases as well as criminal cases. I was raised here in New Mexico, Santa Fe, New Mexico. I was born in Taos, New Mexico. And this is just really emotional for me because of the support that I have gotten from my sponsors, Los Caballeros de Vargas, and from the support that my mother and father have given me throughout this whole process. I'm letting my nerves get the best of me, but I pray and I hope that I will be able to go on this journey and learn more about our history and our culture. As I was older, my mom put us in flamenco, and we would be dancing on the Fiesta, the Santa Fe heart of the Fiesta, the middle of town, and sorry. And I just want to thank you, muchas gracias, La Conquistadora, for being here and helping me through this journey of mine. And I hope that I will be able to continue to learn the culture and the history of Santa Fe, New Mexico. Gracias.
La Reina contestant number 3, Brianna Janae Ellis Yalire.
Good evening, Fiesta Council President Melissa Mascarenas, Fiesta Council members, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brianna Janae Ellis Yalire, and I stand before you a candidate for La Reina de la Fiesta de Santa Fe for the year 2019. I have the honor of being sponsored by Unión Protectiva, and I am eternally grateful for their support. I would like to first start off by wishing all of the candidates the best of luck. It is because of the faith that Don Diego de Vargas had in Our Lady of Peace that we were able to gather here tonight. It was in 1692 that he made a promise to host a fiesta in her name if he was able to resettle Santa Fe peacefully, and thankfully he was. The city of Santa Fe and the Fiestas de Santa Fe are rich with history and tradition, and thankfully tonight we get to take the first step in continuing his promise that was made. I remember as a little girl being overly excited and overly anxious to attend La Fiestas de Santa Fe. And I remember looking forward to seeing La Reina in her court and thinking it would be such a great honor to one day be in their shoes. The role of La Reina de la Fiesta de Santa Fe is steeped in honor, respect, and dignity. And if elected to portray La Reina de la Fiesta de Santa Fe, I promise that I will portray La Reina with, again, respect, dignity, and honor. Thank you.
La Reina contestant number 4, Elise Elena Lopez Ileva.
With every great big decision we have in life, we always have two options. The first option is love, and this is when we decide to do something that we genuinely and truly want to do in our heart, despite any fears or insecurities that we may feel. The second option is fear itself, and this is when we choose to do something, or rather choose not to do something, because of those insecurities or fears. These were the wise words given to me by my brother Nathan Lopez when discussing my intentions to run for La Reina. Hello, my name is Elise Elena Lopez Ileva. I want to take a moment to thank my sponsors at State Employees Credit Union for affording me this opportunity to come here tonight and give a little bit of my journey to you guys. I also want to give thanks to all of you, the Fiesta Council members, for all that you do in this tireless effort to keep the traditions alive for the past 307 years. So thank you for all that you do. My parents, Agnes Leyva Cruz and Alan Lopez, have been an amazing influence to me in my life. They instilled in me a faith that I still carry today. And they also, sorry, it's a little problem with this. They also instilled in me a love of the traditions in Santa Fe that I love so much that have brought me here on this stage tonight. I grew up in a family very devout in our faith, and at a young age, I was introduced to one of the most special parts of our faith, Our Lady, our Blessed Mother. And I fell in love with her very quickly, and over the years, I have gotten to know her more and more. She is known all over the world by different names, such as Our Lady of Fatima, Our Lady of Lourdes, Our Lady of Medjugorje. But here in Santa Fe, we know her by a couple other names, such as Lady of Guadalupe, Our Lady of Peace, and La Conquistadora. And with each of these names, Our Lady has a story of love that she encompassed to a group of people, and a message of peace. She had a message of peace to her people, and growing up with these stories, I found a sense of trust and courage in Our Lady's name. And it was this courage that has allowed me to travel all over the world, and a lot of the times by myself. For example, 2 years ago, I was able to travel to a little town in Portugal called Fatima for the 100th anniversary of the apparitions that happened there, and the canonization of Jacinta and Francisco of Fatima. I've also had the privilege of experiencing Our Lady's peace and love firsthand in a little village in a town in Bosnia called Medjugorje. Las Fiestas de Santa Fe is a celebration of Our Lady's love for the people of this region and her message of peace. Peace among our people, peace among our cultures, and the integration of those cultures. Growing up here in Santa Fe, there was always this question that I had of what am I? Am I Spanish? Am I Spanish? Am I Native American? Am I Mexican? And this question of identity lingered with me for a very long time. And it was after learning that a lot of my ancestors came from Spain that I decided to go to Spain and experience this culture that I thought was my own. So 2 years ago in college, I studied abroad in a little southern town of Spain called Granada. And I enjoyed every single moment that I spent in Spain. But I learned very quickly that the culture that I fell in love with as a child was not that culture that I was experiencing there in Spain. I came to realize that the love of the culture here in Santa Fe is not just a Spanish culture, does not just have a Spanish influence, but it is a unique blend of many cultures, of Mexican, Native American, and Spanish. And that question of identity that lingered in my mind was answered. Because I'm not just one of these cultures. I am a beautiful mix of all three of them. Each culture unique in their own way, united, is this culture that we have here in New Mexico. And with our fiestas in Santa Fe, we celebrate the birth of this culture that was birthed in unity and peace, a peace that we have the privilege to still have today, a kind of peace that allows Native American buffalo dancers to share a stage with Spanish folklorico dancers, a kind of peace that allows Native American prayers to be said in unity with our Catholic prayers. And it is this, it's because I keep walking, sorry. And it is this unity that makes us Santa Feans, and it is what makes me proud to call myself Santa Fean. So I stand here before you all, having chosen the option of love over fear, and asking you for the opportunity to portray this year's La Reina de la Fiesta de Santa Fe. Que viva la Santa Fe. ¡Que viva!
all do an amazing job. Let's give them all a big round of applause.
And now I'd like to welcome our 2018 Don Diego de Vargas, Bobby Facundo Trujillo y Elas.
Sometimes we have a thought that can last a few moments, or a thought that can last a lifetime, depending if you choose to follow through with that thought. A long time ago, I had a thought as a small child. Tonight, that thought comes full circle. Era un año llena de fe y alegría. Era un año que no puedo explicar o tengo palabras o frases para decir cómo me siento. Pero soy orgulloso y honrado para estar aquí adelante de todos ustedes por un tiempo más. Yo soy Bobby Facundo Trujillo Yaltas, el 2018 capitán general y gobernador Don Diego de Vargas, Zapata y Luján, Ponce de León, el Marqués de Nava de Barcinas, por el 306 Fiestas de Santa Fe. Era un honor al representar ustedes el Consejo de la Fiesta. Doña Presidente Melissa Mascareñas, la comunidad de toda esta bella ciudad de Santa Fe, al representar los miembros del Consejo, al representar, y todo no estaba posible sin mi patrocinador, los Caballos de Vargas, Presidente Tomás Baca. Era un año llena de fe y era un año honrada, pero no hay palabras para decir cómo me siento para honrar a Nuestra Señora del Rosario. Oh, this one's going to be a hard one. You never think about the position you will be in once you come up on the stage to run for De Vargas. Once you get that title, you know you have a summer full of events, speeches to give, people to meet, but you forget you have a big speech at the end. Probably the biggest. We all have titles once we receive this title. A title is easy to let go of. It's the people that's hard. So tonight, the title has gone to a gentleman up here who, congratulations to him, has done an outstanding job so far, don't you all think? I thank this gentleman for coming up here and putting his heart out there, because it's not easy. I know that, and others before me have known that. So it does take courage, it does take pride, it does take strength. But again, it does take the love for faith and for our Blessed Mother, Nuestra Señora de la Paz. Going through this whole year was something I never thought I would experience the way it was experienced. A deeper love, the faith hit hard, but the love hit harder for Our Lady of Peace. For her, this is what we do this for. We say thank you to her each and every moment that we can get. Without her, this fiestas would not be. But without us, that legacy of 1692 and that date of 1712 when the proclamation was written would not be fulfilled. Una promesa hecha es una promesa mantenida. those are words we need to continue to keep. A promise made is a promise kept. We have to show the love for our Blessed Mother, Nuestra Señora la Conquistadora. We have to give her love and honor. The community who went out to the masses that we attended all knew that there was going to be a different speech because all my speeches were never the same. Many of you told me, was that a different speech today? Well, I'll tell you. All my speeches were created, and I know this is bad, but during the homily, as I watched, as I looked at our Blessed Mother, and I just asked her for guidance. Tonight, these are her words, and I can tell you that for a fact. So, contestants up here, remember what you're here for. The love, the heart, the people, because you represent them, and you honor our Blessed Mother. So here's the hard part. Madam President, Concilio de la Fiesta. Muchísimas gracias for bestowing me the most prestigious title of all. It was a year to remember. Without you doing what you do, the countless hours, this could not happen. So thank you. To my sponsors, Los Caballos de Vargas, Presidente Tomás Baca, to you and all the members of the Caballeros, muchísimas gracias for everything, for all the support. From the bottom of my heart, there are no words that I can say how grateful I am to all of you. So muchísimas gracias, hermano.
You're very welcome.
To my cuadrilla, who some are here tonight, Mark, Adrian, Tomas, Santos, Patrick, thank you for going on this journey. It was a year full of fun, excitement, faith, family. As Marco said, we become family, and that's what we have become. So I'm grateful to each and every one of you for going on this journey with me. An inspiration that was given to me was told to me tonight that I inspired him. So I'm not sure if it has ever been done before, but tonight I gave a De Vargas Award to the gentleman who will become, hopefully, the 2019 Don Miguel Vargas, Leonard Mike Romero. From day one, he told me, wow. And that's a word I can only think of right now is wow. To my sister, and to somebody who I am eternally grateful for making this year that much more special. To la Reina de la Fiesta, Catherine Elizabeth Garcia y Ariano, thank you for representing so well, for becoming a team captain with me, and making this journey that much more special. To the princesas, the joys, the sorrows, the laughs, some tears. Without you, this journey wouldn't have been complete. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for joining us on this journey. It was an incredible year. 2018 will forever be etched into my heart. To the Queen and Court Chair, Victor and his committee, thank you all for the support you gave me, my cuadrilla, to make sure that we looked good at every event to escort your royal court into those venues. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. It was truly a great year being on this journey with you. To a hard one, my largest check. Martin and his committee, from day one, you're my bodyguards is an inside joke we put. But everywhere I went from that moment, you were there. I cannot thank you enough. To my parents, Robert and Annabelle, thank you for going on this journey with me. Experiencing the faith, the love, and a reintroduction to our Blessed Mother. It was at the age of 6 that I saw her for the very first time, thanks to my dad. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. To my sister Gabrielle, my brother-in-law Chris, my nephews Benjamin and Christopher, thank you for being on this journey with us as well. Family support is the best support that you can have on these journeys. To the many uncles and aunts, numerous cousins on both the Trujillo and the Aldaz side, and the countless friends, thank you for all your support. Without you, I couldn't have gone through all this. And again, the hardest goodbye, the community of Santa Fe. Thank you so much for all you did this year, for attending all the events, for visiting the churches with us, for giving us words of inspiration. Muchísimas, muchísimas gracias. To the few Fiesta Council members that probably don't want me to say their name, but you all were part of this year and you made it great. I got a nickname Smiley. At every event, this Fiesta Council member made sure I was smiling. She told me the pictures are always going to be there, so smile. Thank you, Grace Field. For the encouragement to actually take that leap of faith and go on this journey. Thank you to Gilbert Romero. President Melissa Mascareñas of the beautiful Fiesta Council, thank you for letting us let you shine and making you shine our way. Thank you. To the candidates up here, we were given advice early on, and it's advice that I've taken to heart. Our Blessed Mother has your back. The stories that were told to us were wonderful, but that advice at the very end was a true statement. Thanks to Sacristana Terry Garcia for giving us that advice. Muchísimas, muchísimas gracias por todo tu apoyo, tus oraciones, por tus palabras inspiradoras y por tu amor. Ya tuvo. Muchísimas, muchísimas gracias. Buenas noches. Dios te bendiga. Que viva Nuestra Señora del Rosario y que viva la fiesta. ¡Que viva!
It gives me great pleasure to introduce our 2018 La Reina de la Fiesta, Catherine Elizabeth Garcia y Arellano.
Buenas tardes, señora Presidente Melissa Mascareñas, los estimados miembros del Concilio de la Fiesta de Santa Fe, los para don Diego de Vargas y la Reina, damas y caballeros. Ha sido un verdadero honor para servir como la Reina de la Fiesta de Santa Fe por el año 2018. Fue un viaje de fe un viaje que ha unido a la comunidad, un viaje que una promesa de Nuestra Señora de la Paz y un viaje que siempre estará en mi corazón. Quiero expresar mi agradecimiento a los miembros del Concilio de la Fiesta de Santa Fe por su apoyo y por su confianza en mí a lo largo de este viaje. Ha sido un año increíble y nunca podré agradecerles lo suficiente por la oportunidad para servir como la reina. Muchísimas, muchísimas gracias por tomar mi mano y caminaron conmigo en una bella viaje. How lucky am I to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard? From the cool, brisk mornings of each Novena Mass, to the joy and excitement that filled the eyes of the children and the elders as we visited the schools and the nursing homes. This year has been nothing short of incredible, and I am forever grateful for the opportunity to have served as La Reina de la Fiesta de Santa Fe. It has been a journey that helped me grow even more in my faith, appreciate our cultures and our traditions, a journey that united our communities and kept a promise to Our Lady, and a journey that will forever be in my heart. Despite the small but significant changes that happened this year, it was so heartwarming to see our community gather strong as ever for our nation's oldest community celebration. That's something we should all be extremely proud of. It starts with our community, it starts with our children. And in continuing to gather as a community and teaching our children our cultures, our tradition, our faith, and the reason we celebrate. We celebrate for Our Lady. We celebrate to keep the promise Don Diego made to Our Lady. And by teaching our children and continuing to help them celebrate, we'll be able to continue this tradition. Without the love of our tradition and without the support of the community, we wouldn't be here starting our 307th Fiesta de Santa Fe. I want to take a moment to thank some individuals who I think could never be thanked enough for all of their support and generosity throughout the year. To President Melissa Mascareñas and all of the wonderful members of the Santa Fe Fiesta Council, not only for your support throughout the year, but for your continued hard work and dedication. Without you, we wouldn't be able to continue Fiesta, and without you, the promise to Our Lady wouldn't be kept. To my sponsor, the amazing women of La Sociedad Folclórica, for affording me the opportunity to run for La Reina and for supporting me throughout the year. To the candidates for La Reina and Don Diego, thank you all for continuing this beautiful tradition. Regardless of tonight's outcome, Our Lady has called you each here for a reason, and you are a part of history. To some amazing people who helped me prepare and spent countless hours at practice with me, Brittany, Mama Jackie, Marvin, Allison, Joe, Daniel, Jamie, Manuel, and Marcos. Thank you guys for putting up with the countless breakdowns and helping me prepare as best as I could. To my amazing family, thank you for standing by my side, especially throughout this journey. You guys have supported me in everything that I have ever chosen, and you made me who I am today. I love you all so much. To my princesses, thank you all for coming on this journey with me with an open heart. Elena and Destiny, thank you not only for sharing your culture with us, but teaching us everything so that we can share it with you. I love you guys all so much, and I'm gonna cherish every single memory we made with each other this summer. From Selena karaoke in the car, to stealing the capes from the guys for pictures, and laughing uncontrollably and crying just the same. And otra vez, otra vez, I love you ladies, and I'm so glad you have become my sisters. To Bobby and his cuadrilla, thank you all for protecting us and putting us first, always. You guys offered countless laughs, hugs, and words of encouragement throughout every adventure this summer. You all are true gentlemen, and my ladies and I were lucky to have you by our side all year long. To my amazing committee members, Papa Vic, Mama Jackie, Auntie T, Jamie, and Brittany. You guys always made sure we looked our best and fixed us when we didn't. You always lent us an ear to listen, shoulder to cry on, and laughs when we really needed them. You all are so much more than our committee members. You're our rocks, and we don't know what we would do without you. We appreciate everything you do for us. You are everything behind who we are. You make us who we are, and we love you. And one more time, Papa Vic. And I think my girls will agree with me. Swipe or no swiping. And last, but certainly not least, I want to thank Our Lady for continuing to guide me on this journey. I have been blessed with some of the most wonderful people. Thank you all for taking my hand and walking on this beautiful journey with me. Toman mi mano y caminan conmigo una última vez, mientras continuamos este viaje por años venideros. ¡Que viva la Fiesta de Santa Fe! ¡Que viva!
Thank you, Bobby and Catherine, for representing our city with such great honor and respect for our community.
¡Que viva Santa Fe! ¡Que viva! Española, que viva Española! ¡Que viva! Very proud of you guys. You have a lot of support from people in Santa Fe. I want you to know that. Well, I think it's been going pretty good. It's been great. As you see, the emotion that happens because, well, I'm going to let Jen talk about emotion and talk about your journey.
Yeah, be crying. So, well, first of all, let's thank our sponsors. And I know we're ready for a break, but we would like to thank the following: Baile de Mayo, Community Outreach, Contest Selection, De Vargas and Staff, Event Decorating, Entertainment, Indian Participation, Public Relations, Queen of Court, Social Activities, Ticket and Door. We'd also like to thank Paper Tiger, Que Suave, and most certainly the Santa Fe Fiesta Council.